Krysta, facts.
Alright, so today's facts of the day. Krysta's facts of the day.
Yay,
let's just
Krysta
say.
Facts.
Hey!
Oh.
No. I was
You
just...
don't need to be calling people out like that. I know.
11 PG!
You're right.
I was imitating Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I just said Krysta's facts of the day. I said the facts of the day. Something. I don't know. Okay, so today's facts of today is...
Today's facts of today. Sorry. Go ahead.
The solar system. Weird facts about the solar system.
Cool.
But this is on the website called space.com.
Okay.
By Elizabeth Howell. So if you want to go check out the rest of it, there's 25. I just showed the first 5 because I'm boring like that.
Alrighty.
We like you and your boringness, Crystal, and it's okay.
It's what makes me, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 1. Uranus is tilted on its side.
PG-11. Not saying a word.
Yeah, no. You're not gonna sing a single word?
I don't have a clean thought in my head after that. Sorry. Moving on.
Why did we have to start with Uranus? I don't know.
Because that's how they started it!
Okay.
Y'all calm down with your dirty minds.
I can't even with the butt jokes right now. There's not a PG-11 thought that I have. I apologize.
Okay.
Apologize.
Okay. Well, next thing, since these people are dirty scoundrels.
Definitely a scoundrel. That's me.
Pretty
All
much
over
a
the
scoundrel,
place.
yeah.
Number 2. Jupiter's moon, Lo, has towering volcanic eruptions.
Wow.
Volcanic.
See, that's cool. I like that fact. That's a wild, cool fact. Towering volcanic eruptions?
Yes.
Like the volcanoes. I'm trying to picture towering volcanic eruptions. I'm impressed. I'm just not sure.
Has hundreds of volcanoes of Jovian. Something like that. The Jovian moon has hundreds of volcanoes.
Wow.
And is considered the most active moon in the solar system.
Yeah, it's Jovian, as in Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fancy.
Number 3. Mars has the biggest volcano that we know of. But we still don't know
So
if
I'm
it's...
a little confused. These are supposed to be solar system facts, right?
Right.
Okay. Just checking because it seemed like it was rapidly turning into volcano facts.
Mars, moon...
Okay, it was just the arc we were in. I apologize.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mars also has the longest valley.
Yeah, makes them... Yep, I agree.
Yep. Number 5! This is probably one everyone knows. Venus has super powerful winds.
Yeah. One might say that they're solar powered.
See? That was PG-11.
And that was all 5?
I was actually going to do one more for the heck of it.
Okay, do one more for the heck of it.
There's actually, there's water ice everywhere. So all around in the solar system, there's water ice.
Wow.
So there is water. There is water in space.
It's just frozen.
It's just frozen. And we're going to have to wait a couple thousand years for it to unfreeze. But when we do, and when we find a place that's new,
Gonna be
we're going to move into
groundhog.
What?
It's going to be a really old groundhog, she said. Now, I'll tell you something I know from listening to No Such Thing as a Fish.
Oh, yeah?
If you were to fill the solar system with oxygen, you would hear the sun all the time. All the time. It would be the loudest thing you heard.
That's wild.
Ever.
Your ears would be broken.
Well, your ears wouldn't be broken, but you'd hear the sun all the time. All the time.
How much do you talk, man? You run your mouth. Talking to the sun.
So, yeah.
At least that's breathing right now.
That's what they think would happen. So, there you go. That's what they think would happen. Now,
alright, let's
in an interesting twist.
An interesting twist?
An interesting twist.
Uh-huh.
Your twists are always interesting. I'm listening.
The Greys first appeared in an episode of The Outer Limits called The Bolero Shield.
Bolero Shield.
Okay.
It featured short aliens with gray skin and wraparound solid black eyes without pupils or irises.
Interesting.
And then a few months later is when the Betty and Barney Hill story happened. And skeptics will tell you that they came by their description of the aliens that they encountered
From that show.
Which
Right.
they had seen.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Now, I have run across people who say this is not the first appearance of the Greys, that the Greys have been mentioned in other places first, but I could find no solid facts to back that up. It looks like the first Grey anybody ever saw was on The Outer Limits, with Betty and Barney Hill's Greys appearing shortly thereafter.
Right.
Yeah, I say shortly. I want to say it's within a year or two. So, that's where we first see the Greys, kind of, but the very few descriptions you get of the bodies left at Roswell, which predates the Outer Limits episode and predates the Betty and Barney Hill story, are described as Greys. So, I don't know which is true.
Yeah.
Well then.
And it would make sense for a show like The Outer Limits that somebody on that show, somebody who was kind of nerdy and, kind of smart, was trying to recreate the aliens from the Roswell crash. And that's why they're Greys.
Well, sure.
Which would explain why they appeared.
I'm sure the Outer Limits had their own Dick Van Dyke type dude.
Dick Van Dyke?
You ever watched the Dick Van Dyke show?
Yeah.
They wrote for a TV show.
Oh,
They were
okay.
writers.
Okay, yeah, they were. I forget about that because they spent so much of their time goofing off!
They were comedy writers. You should appreciate that.
No, yeah, okay, I've been in comedy writing rooms. You know what they want you to do? They want you to work, not goof off!
Okay, well, this was the 50s. It was a different thing.
Bonk bonk.
Okay,
In any case.
we're not talking about that Star Trek episode.
I didn't say a heck about that. You're the one who brought it up.
She doesn't know anything about that. She is not a Trekkie.
Bonk bonk on the head. Comes from a Star Trek episode. We're not talking about it. Has nothing to do with the Greys at this
She
point.
doesn't know.
I was gonna bonk you on the head, but you have your hat on, so I can't do that.
Because we're on an adventure.
Exactly. We are soaring through the galaxy right now, preparing to meet another race.
We're gonna throw someone in outer space.
No.
And here's something else. That classic face of the gray, the classic alien face with the big eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Something about it scares me to death.
I'm sorry.
Which one of you would like your soul being stared into by those eyes?
I don't even know.
I want you to be scared.
I don't know why I'm scared, but it scares me to death.
That makes me sad that you're scared. Honey, I'm sorry.
They have featured it prominently in my nightmares on a regular basis.
Oh, I'm super sorry.
Seriously, aliens!
I'm not trying to get sympathy here. I'm just trying to have a moment with our listeners.
Oh.
Where I let out some personal information. You don't have to mock me.
Hey guys!
I'm not mocking you.
One thing I want you all to know, if you didn't already know, your dreams mostly have to do with what you've done in your day.
Okay, other than this episode, I've tried very hard not to focus on the grays, but whatever. I tell you what, let's take a moment, do a little word from our sponsors.
Sponsors!
And then we'll move on to talk some more about the grays.
Yay! You can't see that!
Okay, so, more about the grays.
Hey.
Tell us about the grays, honey.
We've been talking about them since we started, but I'll tell you more.
Well, tell him that's what I meant.
Look,
I can't make him happy. I argued with him tonight. He just, he looks irritated because I'm arguing with him. I asked him to tell me more about the grays, and he's like, "We've been talking about the grays." How can I properly, according to in Lexi's verbiage, why am I not playing properly, and how can I fix it?
I don't know. Maybe don't mock me when I tell you that this is a constant source of terror for me.
I wasn't mocking
you. We weren't mocking you.
Honest concern and care. I know you're not used to a lot of that in your life, but it should be.
I still feel mocked.
It should
mocked.
You know what?
Mocked.
Mocked. I am mocked. You are mocking me.
All right, mister. Go on. We're obviously not going to continue this topic. Let's move on and get this episode
done.
Okay. When people describe aliens they have encountered, the gray is the most common version.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so, yeah, that's... And when I think of alien, generally I think of a gray.
And when people talk about abduction, it is almost always the grays who are involved.
Well, sure.
Although occasionally they will have what I like to call the blues, which are, again, these tiny blue humanoids that are like menial kind of drones or something.
I can't say I'm real familiar with that, but...
Those are the ones, if they're not grays, that's what you hear about, is these little mini blue guys. Okay. But most of them, it's the blues. Most of them, it's the grays. Okay. In fact, if you were to ask most people what aliens look like, the response they would give you would be a gray.
Well, yeah, that's what I just said.
Now, depending on who you encounter, the grays are either taller dudes from 6 to 8 feet tall to shorter dudes of 3 to 4 feet tall. But otherwise, they're quite similar. Gray skin, holes for ears, a tiny hole for a mouth.
Little bitty tiny holes for a nose.
Yes.